Alright, welcome back. Today we are doing CSS colors. So we are going to be doing all the different ways, or maybe not all, but some of the different ways you can change colors using CSS. So we're going to start off with the hex colors are this hash and then either 3 hex numbers or 6 hex numbers you can see here. So this one you can go kind of like 0, 0, 0, and this is also black even though it's double zeros. So if you use the color selector in VS Code, you can pick the hex color this way, and I'll just set the color and the background color in CSS, so you can also select background there. So it should come up green and red. Oh, that's very terrible. Red and white. I don't know. That's probably not a good combination. What am I doing? Save. All right. So that is hex colors. The next way of selecting color is RGB color. So I just set this as color 2, and there's actually a few different ways. It's like RGB, and then if you go into this VS Code color selector and press up here, you can change the way it selects colors between hex, HSL, HWB, lab. I haven't seen lab before. LCH, whatever that is. And that kind of cycles through the different ways you can select colors, but all of these will work the same depending on, I don't know what HWB is, that's a weird one. Let's go back to RGB, and then you can select the same amount of colors, and instead it uses the RGB for red, green, blue, is it, I think? And then that will select the color that way. So I'll just add a class for that down here. Don't look at the other examples yet, I'm not ready. Okay. So that is RGB colors. So the next one is color opacity. So if you wanted to set your color to be see-through, you can actually set it to be the level of opacity with RGB. You can do it with hex as well, but RGB is a bit easier. So if I wanted to have this color, except I wanted to only be at half strength, then I would add the RGB value and then its strength. So it goes between 1 is full. You can see the slider here that changes that value as well. And you can change it to hex, and you can see it changes the end hex value for the amount of opacity as well. So you can do opacity in RGB and in hex if you want. This slider in VS Code is very handy for that. And yes, you can see that color 3 is not updating. But yes, that is the color opacity in CSS. And the final one, which I don't use very often, is color names. There are around probably a bit more, I don't know the exact number of names used if you wanted to use the names of the colors rather than the hex or other ways. This is Alice Blue and Blue Violet. So if you wanted to look them up and use them instead, you can. So Alice Blue is kind of like a very light blue, and Blue Violet does not really look blue at all to me, but could be my monitor as well. So there we go, that's the color names. You could probably look up the chart of the names if you really want to. As soon as I start changing them here, it gets rid of the name. So there we go, that's CSS colors. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.